Good morning, everybody. It's Pitter the Potter in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. Here I am over here, right at my wheel as usual. Today we're going to throw a covered jar, but it's not a tall covered jar. It's sort of a squat and wide covered jar. We sometimes call them jewelry box jars. And these are made out of a pound and a 1 pound, 0.8, pound and a half of clay. Here's the clay. And as you all know, I don't really wedge clay. All I do is sort of pat it out of the bag because it comes de-aired. And we're going to put this puppy on the wheel and we're going to throw a jewelry jar, covered jar. Here we go. Well, it's a 2010. And we're back to work. I posted one video last week, but of course we're centering now. And we're going to do some coning here to get the air and take the place of wedging. Little coning action here. At any rate, we're in the mountains of North Carolina, and as most Americans know, we're having a deep freeze. And I've lived in the mountains here for 26 years, and this is the first time we've had sub-freezing weather for as long as we've had it, for this many days. And of course most of the people across America, they're having the same problem. Okay, we've centered our ball of clay and we're going to do this simple throw. Dropping the hole, smoothing the bottom. We check the depth of the hole, make sure it's not too thin on the bottom. That might be a little bit thin. We're going to just add a little clay back into the bottom by shaving it off the sides and pushing down. And then we're going to fill in that little bit of a space there because that was a little bit too thin. So let's check it again. So a needle tool, put it into the pot. That's very good right there. A little better than about 1/8 of an inch, a little fatter than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, we're going to pull the floor now. And on this pot, we don't need to have much of a floor because it's going to be a round piece. So compressing the floor here. Putting in our little gesture of the swirl in the bottom. And we're going to start to throw the wall. Here we go. I feel like I might have a bubble in here. A little bubble. Not too bad. Alright, we'll keep going. We're doing an undercut so we have a place to start. And a knuckle and a finger, and up we go. I'm going to have to address this bubble now. One little bubble in all that mess makes me feel like I just wedged the clay and got a bubble in it. Alrighty, I think we've dealt with the bubble now. And we'll just smooth this out a little bit. And here we go again, next pull. Okay, we got the pulls done. Now we're going to have to form this. Starting to wallow her out. Going to have to come out pretty far on this piece. So we're going to keep going. the shape made. Just easy does it. No tools required, just fingers. I brought my tools with me. When I teach little kids, I always say, did y'all bring your tools with you? Now we have a nice curve coming up here to a natural curve, sort of a wide top, and what we're going to do is do an incising line here, and another little line right here. These gestures that I use, and then we're going to even out this top by just throwing it up. Got everything moving nicely, the same direction. I'm going to do okay, now we're going to take the needle tool and we're going to cut off just the top that's sort of a little shvuggy, and we're going to let the pot go around 8 times. So, and brace your needle and support the inside. So we're going to go around 6 times. There we go, 6 times. Makes it look nice. Remember, this is 1 1/8 pounds, and we're going to take our chamois cloth here and we're going to strap the edge here to make it nice and round and smooth. Now we got that nice, and we're going to come back in with a sponge on a stick and clean out the bottom here. And then we're going to take our trimming tool, which I told you I use a kitchen knife with a flat edge. And we're just going to come back in here and trim out the bottom. And this can be retrimmed on the wheel later after it gets a little stiffer. So all I'm doing is just doing like an initial cut and slimming it down a little bit. And of course we'll be ready to we've got it basically done on the bottom. So that's the first part of this covered jar. Clean your wheel off a little bit before you even come. I don't cut my pots off the wheel anymore. I came from a Japanese school of art, and we used to cut it and pretty much didn't even sign them back in the old days, but today we sign everything. And we make sure we get it signed properly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure for the top of this piece right here. And we're taking a calipers, and this is set from the ones I threw the other day. And this is slightly smaller. And I'm going to measure from rim to rim right on the top of the piece. The point laying on it. Right, and then I'm going to move it a little bit to make sure I'm not elliptical. They're looking good. Alrighty, so now we have the calipers set up. This is the calipers, and this is the wide. This is how wide the the lid's going to have to be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mark the wheel so we know where it came off this wheel. And also we're going to take a pencil and write on here number 1. Number 1. So we know that this next lid that we make is going to go back on number 1. Okay, so we're going to set this off real quick here. Come back with another bat on my bat system. You can look up bat systems on my YouTubes. And here we have the old bat, which is sort of cleaned. I didn't leave any residue there. So it just takes a quick smush and dry your wheel head off.